Hey, what's up, everyone? Take two. Hi, my name is Anika. Welcome to Adobe Live. This is a new show. It's called What Next? I'm here with you all. I'm so excited that I accidentally pressed a different key. But I'm glad that you all are here today. Thank you so much for joining. If you've never been here before, this is Adobe Live. We go live every single weekday from 9 a.m. Pacific time, sometimes 8 a.m. when we have the most amazing Adobe Express streams. But today is 1 p.m. Pacific time, 4 p.m. Eastern, and this is a new show called What Next? I'm your host for the next 1 hour. I have very fun, exciting stuff for you planned all throughout this 1 hour and also 2 more hours later this quarter. So I'm really excited to get started. Do everything fun. As you can see, it's about, if you read the bio down below, it's all about creating a passion project. Today, we're going to learn how to build your passion project. If you're an emerging creative, if you've just gotten out of school, if you're switching careers, this stream is for you because you're here. You got the Adobe Creative Cloud, but you don't know where to go from there. So what's next, right? That's where we come in. I come in with the idea of telling you how to create a design brief of your own, get inspired from your daily life, and I hope this stream inspires you to create something new. If you've been doing this for a while, imposter syndrome gets to all of us, and I feel like we all are at a stage where we sometimes don't update our portfolio or something similar. But if you're watching this live on Behance or YouTube, hi and welcome on in. Don't be afraid to say hi in the chat and ask any questions. I will be using Adobe Illustrator today, and yeah, let's dive into and see who we have in chat today. I see a lot of friends. I see Katerina, Bliss, what's up? We have Wade, Val, Cody, welcome on in, everyone. And we have Clever, Jack, Caroline, Bliss. I already said Bliss. Viola, Fergie, Oliver. I love it. Stony, welcome on in, everyone. Let's go ahead to my screen and see what we have today. So I feel like all of us really think about how to get started with a passion project. And I don't know about you all, and if you have created any passion projects for your portfolio when you were getting started, but if you have, let me know how you thought about the idea or how you created the brief. Today, I'm going to start. The first chunk of the stream is going to be about designing your own creative brief. What are the important points about creating your own brief? And how you can make it your own and come up with ideas that you can use in your portfolio. Okay, so let's get started. I want to hit play on this stream and learn how to create a design brief. So essentially, what is a creative brief? A creative brief is essentially if you're the designer and someone else is coming at you with an idea, you ask them a lot of questions about their brand, who they are, what are the expectations, and what are the details. If you know all of that, you create an outline and a framework for what you want to do for the brand. And then you use that to create the brief, use that to create the scope of work, define your contract, and create the necessary deliverables that you want at the end. So with all of this, you usually have to have something of an idea which is set in stone. You need to have all of these questions on hand with you, and you need to think about every passion project just like that. So with every passion project that you create, it is necessary to highlight why you made the creative choices, and if you essentially want to show this as a case study on Behance, which I know Val did an amazing stream about last week. So don't forget to watch that replay. You will get source files for free, but you need to have every single thing in your process with that as well. So why do you need a creative brief anyway? So a creative brief is essentially necessary because you want to get on the same page with your client. And in this case, when you're creating a passion project, you're the client. Sometimes it can get really hard to find the right thing for yourself and your client, because essentially you got to have that trust. You build a relationship with them. In this case, you're the client. It's really difficult to find iterations or revisions and find something that works for everyone. Gaining an insight into the brand and the target audience is also really important, where the research phase comes in. We have some more things here on the screen, and it says helps the client get more involved with the process, and you can rely on a timeline that works best for you. All of this is essentially for a project that you're doing with a client, but how do you modify that for a passion project? So these are some of the questions that you should include in your creative brief. And these are the basics. You really should have just listened to all of these questions and then derived more questions out of it. And that is going to create your brief, right? But Let's look at this diagrams because that's always more enticing than text. So we have the design brief here, we have the brand overview and the scope and deliverables. We also have the research, target audience, goals, stakeholders, and timeline. So all of these, you have to think of all of these in a situation where you're creating a passion project. So when I first started out, I'm a self-taught designer and I wanted to create something for my portfolio. I really like tea and I thought, why not make a tea brand? So I thought of what I did first thing in the morning. The first 5 things that you do in the morning and you wake up, those are the things that really will help you define what you want to create a brand for. And if it's all hidden play at the beginning, because you're seeing if that's something that you really like, if you want to be in food and beverage, if you want to be in game art, if you want to be in any of those domains, you experiment and then you land onto something that you really want to do. But always, you can always go back ahead and delete stuff from your portfolio if you don't want clients that do something like that. But let's dive into it and let's see what we have next. So I was talking about how you implement this for passion projects. So when I think about passion projects, I take inspiration from everyday life. And today I have that everyday life object, which is somewhat inspired from my outdoor walks here ever since I've moved. And I go to this port, which has a lot of people in the evenings, and there's also a lot of wine because ports always reminds me of port wine. So I just thought, why not create a wine brand? And so you have to come up with a concept, which is the story of the brand. You come up with the name and the product offerings. I kept it super simple over here and thought of why not create something which is just red and white wine. So we have the product here, which is essentially juniper. So we're going to create juniper wines. We have the new world wine drinkers, which can essentially mean the wine that is often, I'm not going to go into the details of drinking newer wines, but that is basically the idea of making wine more accessible for new world wine drinkers, because they can feel often intimidated by old world wine drinkers. And juniper essentially pairs modern with classic and also is fun and bold and elegant. So that's our main brand value here. We have the target audience right here, which is 25 to 40. It's a big number, the age, but we still think that we can cover something with that, because all of us are driving towards more fun, funky packaging, but also timeless at the same time. Juniper is inspired by the intelligence and beautiful scenes of the lake and works of the local artists. This is my inspiration because I go out on walks at the lake and I really think that that is very inspiring for me. And I say that it is accompanied by silhouettes and shapes from the local scenery and sea creatures. I'm not sure if I have that because I did not make any illustrations. But if you have any questions about any of this, feel free to put them in the chat and I will be happy to answer. So in this case, it says red and white wine. And the next episode, we're going to do mock-ups for all of these. But I just picked red and white just to make it a very basic, simple project to give you an idea of how you can do this all as well. You can change the name of the brand. You can think of something that you do first thing in the morning, 5 things you do in the morning, and think of a brand idea around that concept. I think often we feel intimidated to get started, and this is a great way to get started from all of that. I love that all of the friends are joining in the chat. I want to say hi to everyone before we move forward. I see Izzy, Kieran, Sean, hi, welcome on in. Xavier, hi, welcome on in, everyone. Thank you so much for joining. Alana, welcome. Thank you so much for coming on in and being here. But so for this project, I've thought of making a logo system, typography, color, packaging, and brand guidelines. Today, we'll be focusing on creating a logo system, typography, and color. And if you guys want, I can share this file as a link on Creative Cloud, and you can use it as a template for your own project. And then that will give you an idea of how you can create your own passion project. So let's get started and find a slogan. Now, slogan, oh, what are words? But so since I thought of juniper, it's actually a name of a restaurant around the place that I go for a walk. And I just wanted to make something fun, and all of the brands that I create for my portfolio have some puns with them. So I wanted to create the tagline to be great minds drink alike. And there's something over here as well that I got off Google. I'm on Cloud Wine. You had me at Merlot, Chardonnay, Wine and Dandy, and Happy or Why Not. We may or may not use them, but I have them on the side just in case we want to include them in some promotional assets, ad campaigns, all of those things. I just want to have all of these things handy just in case I will use them later. Okay, so how do I get started? Well, I typically do a lot of logo sketches as well. I know I was hosting someone last week, Tom from Tom TGS Creates, and I wanted to do something similar with a lot of sketches to show you how my thought process works. But due to time, I created basic sketches here, which are just some ideas that I have. I thought I'll do cursive because we're talking local scenery, which was lighthouse. I also thought I would do like a surfboard situation for the label because a lot of people go surfing around here. There was also essentially an idea of the beach and the sunset in here with like lettering and type based logos. And there's this one which is very bold and dynamic. I wanted to use that as well. Um, but then we moved forward from like doing a sunset theme to something like this. And I thought maybe this is not working for the brand that we have. I went back to why and what my brand values were and realized that this does not really speak to the brand values and mission, and neither does this. So I thought of this. I did some more research, and then I thought, why not do something like this? Because wine has like sparkling wine as well. There is bubbles to denote the eye, and this is essentially a bottle of wine that is being created over here. So maybe I'll do something like that, and maybe this can be like the logo mark and this can be something similar. But yeah, this is the idea, and these are the logo sketches and the ideation phase, and now we're going to jump on to designing. But before we get started, these are some important links. I'm going to zoom in right over here just so that you can take a note of it, take a screenshot of this, and I can also put this in the chat later on when we're done. Or grapes, yes, Bliss, thank you. Yes, those are grapes. And also the sparkle, or the bubbly that comes out. But also these are some links that you can go on to and find your own briefs or generate your own briefs. But without further ado, I want to check in to the chat one more time to see if we have any questions and jump into designing. Let's see if we have any questions. Best slogans. Let's see. Do we have any questions yet? I think we do. Because grapes? Okay. Story says, oh, I'm out of the... Nobody's out of the target market range. Nobody's out of the target market range. Let me tell you that. Okay, let's dive into it. And I want to switch over to this side. I have these guys here. These are the sketches that I was creating. But I want to jump in really quickly and show you something that I found. So all of you all, if you've been here before, you know that stock.adobe.com/free is the way to go. And this is not that. So I'm going to switch over to that. We have stock.adobe.com/free. I'm just going to write in wine for now. It's a very generic term that I've used. This is free assets, so you can filter in from anything that you want. We have 12,836 results, which are free. You can use all of these. I can select a subcategory. I'm going to use photos. We have this guy here. We have these over here, which are really fun. You can use masking in Photoshop and make like mock-ups out of this. And this as well, I really like this red wine mock-up. I mean, it's not essentially a mock-up, but it could be. And this could look really cool with like an icon on top of this cork, because that will really define what the brand is. Now, my thought process over here is working like what's going to be my end final deliverable. And that's how I look at images. So that's why I am looking at stock asset. This is already licensed, but I'm going to license it another time. We have some more images. I think I saw something here with like, yeah, look at this. I mean, isn't this brilliant? Isn't this like just the most perfect thing for mockups? Because I can essentially create a mockup and warp a label around the shape and use that. But enough of that. Let's move on to Illustrator. I got distracted by mockups. But let's jump back in and create something here. So I did think of like a font. I thought I'd use a scripty font, but let's actually go ahead and find a font. Juniper, kind of like this. I'm gonna go to fonts.adobe.com just because I feel like I can visualize things better here. And you can use all of these either inside Illustrator or whatever tool you're using. You can use this in Photoshop as well and InDesign. And you can see that all of these ones with the cloud symbol right next to it are the ones that I've already activated. But you can click on Find More and it'll initialize Adobe fonts instantly from the web, and you can select fonts there as well. But I just prefer to do it this way because it just gives me like a better view, and I think that works better for my process. So yeah, and Sean in the chat says age gets better with wine. That is absolutely true. I love that. Yep. I have a ton of them living in one of the best wine regions. Love that. FH, thank you for joining. FH says, finding a font takes me so long. Yeah, so with Adobe Fonts, you have all of these tags here that you can use for your brand. And I just did a sample text here, but maybe you have something else. So maybe I am creating a brand for FH, and I have all of these things. Maybe it's a luxury brand, right? I select the tag here, which is luxury, and I can choose any of the fonts that we have. Now, this is a very fun, curly, scripty font, but when I'm creating a logo, I have to think about how it scales up and down, how it will work at bigger sizes and smaller sizes as well, and if it is still legible. So I will stray away from this scripty font for that reason. Even though it's very fun and scripty and gives us that typical luxurious vibe, I'm gonna stay away from it. But that's how typically I work with finding fonts. It's a lot of hit and trial and finding the one that really goes with the brand values. But maybe I'll just go with a geometric one for now because I wanted to. I really like this actually. I am a font hoarder. I have a ton of fonts. I just love hoarding fonts. But I think I really like this, to be honest. This bold one really is lovely. We have some more. I'm just gonna open all of these in a new tab. This also is really fun and modern. I like how the sans serif over here is very, like let's write it. Let's write it here. The chat is going. I see the chat. I see you all. Let's see what's happening in chat. Yeah, Becca in the chat says, I feel like Adobe Fonts is always a safe choice, the designer stamp of approval. For sure, yeah. I love that that's the case for you, Becca. That is also the case for me. Um, Love that J. Yeah, right? Scandia is the font name that I'm really activating now. Even if I don't use it today, I'm just gonna activate it because I really love this very modern. It has low X heights here, which I really like. We have some more here, which I'm gonna activate again. I'm just gonna have to remember the names of all of those, you guys. So please bear with me with that. But let's jump in and activate some more fonts, because why not? Because why not? Okay, I'm gonna go here. Where's my Illustrator? I'm gonna make some copies of this. Press Command D. You can see that these are the shortcuts that I'm using. I'm gonna go ahead and select Noka. Oh, interesting. Was this not capitalized? Oh, I really like that. I'm actually going to enlarge these a little bit just so that it's visible for you folks to see. We have some stuff here. Something's happening. I really love this. Even though, I mean, I like these little stretched lines at the end, but I think I like the J better for the one that we just saw. Let's see. I don't know how to pronounce that, so I apologize in advance, but I'm not even gonna attempt it. But maybe this one looks nice, right? I'm gonna go open properties. And if you were wondering why my Illustrator looks like this, I'm actually in a custom workspace, which is Anika. Wow, big surprise. But you can go to Essentials Classic and you can see this control bar at the top. We have properties. We have the layers panel right here as well. But since I use Illustrator for my everyday thing, I just have it customized according to my needs. So I'm just going to go over here and go to my text icon here and make it all caps just so that I don't have to do it and write in things manually. Yeah, that's it. I'm going to go back here and find Scandia, which is right here. Scandia, where are you? Love that. Oh, that is fun. I love that it has both those variations. I'm just actually going to go ahead, create a version which is not all caps. Small caps. Yeah. but this one and this one, sentence case. I meant sentence case. What are words? But I feel like this and this are the winners for me for now. But let's actually go ahead and explore more stuff right here. This is a very quick branding exercise just to show you how things work. Essentially, you would do iterations of things. I really like this as well, iterations. But if you're working with the client, make sure to think about that when you're making the scope of work in your agreement, because sometimes if you don't include the revisions, they want revisions and you've not included that in your quotation, and that can sometimes be a problem to you as a designer or you as a client, because it just can create unnecessary things that you don't want. Let's actually see if we like this one. This is very plain and simple, and I don't like this. I think I do like this, but maybe not so much because I can't play with the eye a lot. But I do want to see how I can change something else here. Ooh, this one is really, really fun again, just because the X height over here is different for the P and the R. So I'm going to obviously activate all of them. Now you know how I activate fonts and just have them forever. I like these, but I think that these are really rounded. So I don't know if I want that. Let's go to next. Okay, let's actually, yeah, let's go here and change the font here. Yeah, let's keep this. Okay, let's see what we have until now. So this is definitely out the picture. I really like this one. So I'm gonna bring it here. I like this one as well. So I'm gonna bring it here. And I also like this one, but I'm not really sure if it's too different from this one, like it is. I like the bowl of the R over here, but I'm not sure if it's really, really different. But we'll think about that. We'll think about that in just a second. We're going to explore more over here. Just because I'm not fully convinced with how it looks for now. But as you can see, we're at the end of the geometric fonts already, but we still have clean, and there's 72 font families. I'm just going to go through the first 2 pages just to see if I missed anything fun that I can use in my branding today. I chose a type based logo here because I wanted to convey the fact that we are simple, classic, yet bold with the grapes and the bubbly logo that we have. I love that this is also very similar to the font that we have. Loose. Okay, interesting. Let me activate that again. Let me create a copy. And you can see that it's really that simple to activate these fonts and just use all of them. Like I just have like a whole bunch of fonts that I have. Lose, where are you? Okay, this is kind of fun. This is taller than the one that we chose. So this and this look very similar over here. I'm gonna bring these to the side here. I'm gonna zoom out. I'm gonna close this just so that we have more space to see. What do you guys think? Do you like one or two? I don't know. Let me know. I think I like one better just because the J and it just looks more uniform to me over here. But I don't know what I think about the I, but we can always change that. Oliver in the chat says, I like to just install Adobe fonts, like the whole lot. Yep, that's basically what we're doing here. No, let's go to next and see if we can find one more on this page. Can we? I don't know if we can. All right, let's go back to our Illustrator file and find something that we really, really like. Okay. I'm actually gonna copy these guys here, bring it to this artboard, and find something that we like. I think I'm gonna create a copy of this, and I'm gonna create a copy of this in the end. And now I can create like a bottle shape. So here's like a bottle here. I am gonna create a copy. I'm holding Option and Shift. I'm gonna resize it just so that I can create like bottle shape. I'm gonna center align it to the shape here. Maybe decrease it down a little bit, and then I'm going to use a shape builder using Shift M to create this guy. Pressing A on the keyboard gives me the direct selection tool. I don't really care about the selection a lot right now, just because I'm only going to be using this for the circles that I'm going to use later. But I thought that I would show you how it works. Okay. Okay, we have some votes in the chat. I love that. We have one, Voodoo Val likes two, the bottom one for Dan. Hey Dan, welcome back. I remember you from Thomas's streams. Thank you for joining. Bliss says, yeah, okay. We're talking about fonts in the chat. I love to hear it. I love to hear it. Okay, so now if you are working with fonts, if you're making your own logo type, I would recommend not outlining the font until the end, because you can go ahead to the type tool and go to the touch type tool and change anything that you want. You can move around things. You can change the kerning of the text here as well. But for now, I will actually go ahead and outline this font, just because I don't think I need to change any kerning here. I just need to change how the eye looks, right? So I'm just gonna replace the eye with this guy right here, which is my wine bottle. I'm gonna go here and bring it in, and then I'm gonna click to my text and create outlines. Okay, I'm just gonna change the color just so you can see better what I'm doing. So we have Juniper right here, and don't ask me why I thought of this brand name. It is a funny story. I actually saw like a restaurant which sells wine, which had that name. That was really inspiring for me. Don't know why. But we have that. Hey, Kevin is in the chat. Kevin, hi, welcome on in. I think I can enlarge these a little bit more. I'm holding shift so that they don't lose shape and orientation. Yeah, and then I can just press Command F and bring it back up. I can size it down and bring it over here. Maybe something like this. Okay, I think this works. I'm gonna ungroup this guy, which means I can essentially just move anything anywhere. But I'd only want the eye to delete, so I'm gonna delete the eye. And now I have something like this. I'm going to create a copy of this by holding shift option and dragging it on the side. Let's actually grab this here and delete the pink guy we have. And we have Juniper. I don't know if it reads like Juniper though. Let me know if you read it like Juniper. If you hadn't seen this and if you did not know like this was a wine brand, would you think that this is a wine brand? But let's actually bring in a secondary font, because I want something that's sans serif and like not bold. Okay, I'm gonna change this to boutique wines. Ooh, fancy. Looks fancy. um Val in the chat says Juniper sounds tasty, like sparkling and tart. I would drink a wine called Juniper for sure. Sounds like a white wine. Love it. It does read to me. It just got back. This is so cute. I think it's cute. Oh my god. Love that. Thank you so much. Yeah, I appreciate validation from validation. Okay, there was not intended pun, Val, but thank you for your comments. I love that this has this personality here, which really goes with the grapes situation we have here. But just for now, I am going to create a copy here, which is essentially going to have like a different variation of this circle. I feel like since we are talking grapes, maybe I can decrease it down. Actually, you know what? I need the bottle shape again. Uh, Sorry, I deleted that. Sorry, I deleted that, okay? Okay, let's go back. Let's send it to back. So I'm gonna shift command and press the square bracket to send it to back. I am gonna align this to this one. So I'm gonna bottom align it and center align it. Yeah, I think this kind of works well. Let me switch it here and bring it up top. And then I can do this. Okay, so I think this kind of works well. I'm gonna align it with the P as well. And now I can actually make a new layer, bring this thing on top and bring the layer back and count it as base or grid, and then I can just turn it off. And that way I don't have to delete any of the things that I created. I feel like this kind of speaks more to me because it kind of looks like this is like a lowercase I, which works really well. And yeah, I want to welcome RB in the chat. Hey RB, welcome to the stream. Sony says it kind of reminds me of those beaded curtains. Oh, interesting. Yeah. I don't know. I don't know what you're talking about, but maybe. Juniper wine sounds like Retsina from Greece. Hey Moat, welcome on in. Thank you so much for joining, you all. I appreciate it. So yeah, I don't know, maybe I like 2 better, but I also don't know if I scale it down, if it's gonna read that there is some space between it. You know what I'm talking about? So maybe we're just better off creating no space just so that it doesn't look like it's not legible at a lower or smaller size. I do think that we need to increase the spacing between this guy and also the kerning, because as soon as we scale it down, it might just mix together and look like one single word. So let's actually go here and change the kerning a little bit. I think 100 should be fine, and I'm going to size it down. Make sure to not size it down any lower than 9 points. I have it here at 9, but I'm going to use 10 here and maybe bump the size of the text that we have. But yeah, Val in the chat says the distance looks cool, but again, I feel like when we scale it down, I can't really tell if there's gap. You know what I mean? Okay, let's bring this here. Let's bring all of these here that we don't need. Let's bring this guy. What is this? Oh, this is our little wine bottle. How could I forget you? But okay, so we have these two. I'm gonna enlarge these because these are really, really tiny. Just realized they were super tiny on my screen. Thank you so much. But these are the two things that we created. Now maybe the icon could be just this guy, okay, or just this guy. We have these two options for the favicon. Okay, and I feel like I am gonna eliminate this just because it doesn't read as well. I will change the kerning to 100 here and the size to 10. Maybe, I'm sorry, not 10 now. It's gonna be something like this. And then I'm just gonna get rid of this guy. So we have this over here, which is like a word mark for the wine brand that we are creating. We have the wine logo here. Maybe this looks like a wine bottle. And then maybe I can create like just a version which is like a vertical logo mark. I am going to do some manual things here for that, so bear with me while we do it. It's not going to be perfect because this is going to be super fast, so bear with me while I do that. I'm just going to align it to center once I do that and see how that works, just because this is a little bit of an experimentation phase and that is how you get started. I don't know if I've grouped this, but I'm going to group it again by pressing Command G. Now I'm going to group it and center line it with juniper and then bring it here. Maybe this could be like a sign in front of the restaurant or the place that they sell the wine. Now in this case I feel like the eye doesn't really work out, so I don't know if I want it like this, you know. Let's keep it for now, but I don't know if I want it like this. Okay, Bliss says, will you make some cute little curly wines? Well, that's a cute idea. I had something here which was like a thing to open the wine bottle. Maybe I'll have that ready for next time and we can just use image trace with Illustrator and I can create that for you all. So in the next stream I'm actually going to be I was thinking of doing die lines today and creating like a label, but I thought it would be too much to squeeze into one stream since we only have 1 hour. But maybe we can do something. Maybe that's something we can think about next time. That's a great idea, Bliss. Thank you. Yeah, I will try and do that. So this was another idea that we were exploring, that maybe we can do something like this. But there's also essentially this thing where I can just create like a rectangular shape here. Maybe this can be the shape of the label that we have, so it looks like a J. Sorry, didn't mean to do that. Align with this guy to the left, and then I can just extend this shape. So this can be the label on the wine bottle, which is like a J shape for juniper. And then maybe this has information on the side. This is like a wrap around which goes around the bottle. So maybe there is something like, let's see here. Maybe there's a shape like this that goes around the bottle here. Bring it to the side. And this has information about nutrients. So that could be something that is gonna tie the brand together and bring it together with the visual language that we have. So this is essentially what we had in the logo. This is gonna be the label up front, and this can be on the back with all the nutritional information and the legal information, the government statutory information that we have to include, and this can be on the back of it. And in this way, negative space can also play a role into that. And I always love that we can do it. Obviously it's going to be costly if you're doing it with a client, and you got to think about all of these processes beforehand and think about the manufacturer and how this is a custom label and how it's going to cost you more. But if it's a passion project, you can think about that later when you're actually working with a real client. But obviously think about all of those things when you're working with a real client for sure. Okay, let's make a black and white version, you guys. Why not? And let's actually group this together. Let's make just a word mark. I'm gonna group this together as well. I'm not a fan of this vertical version, to be honest with you all, but I'm just gonna keep it just in case we need it. Okay. We have this guy, and then we have this guy. I guess maybe we can. Oh, didn't want to do that. I'm gonna keep it here, and then I have this guy here. Maybe these are the label ideas. I can keep it on the side. I just like to be organized here, just because we're doing this live, y'all. We're doing this live. Love it. Um, Cody in the chat says, um, love the idea of the label shape. So unique. Hey, love that. Dan Summer says, what if you run the name over two lines? Junie and then purse tagged. Yeah, I actually wanted to do that. Let's actually try that out. Good idea. Thank you so much. Let's do it. This is why we love live streams. Oh, didn't want to do that. Group this, and then I'm gonna align it to the top. I don't know how I feel about that, but it's a good idea. It's something to explore. Let's see. Can't forget the favicon. Love that. Maybe scale the eye to large to small. Interesting. What do you mean, RB? Tell me more. K. Davis. Interesting. I thought that label was a J and I for Juniper International. A global parent name for line of wines. Well, it is. You got it. Thank you so much. Yeah, I feel like this kind of works, but we got to work around the stacking and think of how it's going to look like. I do like the alignment to the right because this is an extra element. I don't know if I will like it when if I center it, like if I have this centered, I don't know if I will like it like this. That's why I didn't do it, but maybe I can take your guys' opinion, your opinion on this. Let's just keep it for now, and then I'm going to bring this in over here. I'm going to bring a shape here, which is just a square. I'm going to send it to back and create white. I'm going to scale it back up. Not so much. Maybe center line it. Maybe scale it down just a little bit, holding Option and Shift. And then I'm going to create a copy of these two guys right over here. I'm going to flip the colors here, so bear with me while I do that. We have the black and white version of the brand. Now, when I'm really creating a passion project, I love that I can just create a black and white version and then come up with something later, which reminds me that we have to jump into color soon. So why not go into it and jump into color? I'm going to grab this really quick here and bring it up top so that we have the brand logo mark here as well. Let's quickly do this really quick. We have this white, send it to back again, and then I have this guy here. I'm going to change the colors again, click it to inverse. It's really that simple. You just want to see if it's going to work in both the spaces. I feel like this really works. I'm going to go ahead and maybe do this one here as well. Let's see how it looks. I am not really sure if this really works, to be honest with you. This doesn't work. The vertical version doesn't work for me. Personally, I don't like how it looks. But maybe you think it works. Let me know what you think in the chat. But yeah, this is how the brand. I use this space just because I wanted to create business cards, but maybe we don't have time for that today, but I will think about that later on. So what about color though, right? We talked about type, we talked about sketches, we talked about what you want to do in the brief and how you can get started with it. What I want to talk to you today is about how you can create a passion project of your own. So I think most of us struggle with color and how you can use color and how you implement it with what the brand values are. In this case, we have classed it yet bold and modern. So why don't we go back ahead to our workspace and see what we have? So simple. I went to color.adobe.com, and that is where I get all my color from. You can go to create, you can explore the trends, and you can go to exploring all what we have. So I'm just going to click on explore and click wine. I have created a library here called Juniper Wines. I will just show you what all we have here. We have some goldens here, which is very warm tones for, like, maybe you can use it for white wine. We have some reds here, which are very fun. These purples and pinks, clearly inclined to purple. As you can see, my light's also purple in the back, but this is also very, very fun. We have some more colors here which are super fun, but I did add some of these to my library that I'm just going to show you right now. So where are you, libraries? There you go. So Juniper Wines is a library, and I can simply go ahead. So if I, let's say I like this color, I can click on this, and this tells me where it was extracted from. It was extracted from someone on Behance. You can add it to your library, download it as all of these, and copy these as well, and you can create using a theme. I'm going to click on add to library, and it's instantly going to add it to my library called Juniper Wines. If I go back to my library, there you go. That's the one that we just added. But how do I use this color theme, right? I have color swatches in my Illustrator file where I can go right over here. These are my swatches that I can bring on the side. We have libraries here, and we can see these are some of the default swatches that we have. But let's actually go ahead and add all of these color themes to my swatches because I want to use them and I want to make them global. Let's actually go ahead and right click them and click on add theme to swatches. There you go. Instantly, all of these themes were added to your swatches. We have all of these fun themes. I don't need this anymore. I can just put this in, plop this inside there, and use all of these themes. Now, I don't know if I really like any of this, so I'm just gonna make some color variations here and see what I think. Let's see. Too much talking. But let's see. Maybe I like the gold, to be honest with you. I do like the gold, but I think it's too much. Maybe the brown is gonna work really well because nobody ever uses brown. The thing about packaging is that you have to think about what your brand is, and also think about what the other people in the market are doing with the same products in the market, and think about how they work. Not really feeling this color palette, to be honest with you. Really like purple, but I don't know if it's gonna work with what we have. Let's see. Let's use one of these. Yeah, I think I'm gonna use this for now. Let's actually use this for now. I can experiment later. I think for the sake of time, I'm just gonna use this for now. I'm gonna bring this in as well. We have some more colors here. We have the brown, we have the turquoise. Oh, that's a fun. I think this and this would make for a fun combination and something that people don't usually associate with wine. I feel like that's usually a hit or a miss situation because if I've never associated that with wine, why would I really associate it now, right? You know what I mean? But I'm going to hit copy and bring this down here. Let's see. Val in the chat says, did someone say purple? Yeah, exactly, right? That's exactly like what I feel about it. I'm gonna go to outline mode just to see if it aligns. I'm gonna bring it here. I'm gonna select everything, scale it back up, go outside outline mode, press Command Y, and then I want to change color. So maybe I'll just use the eyedropper tool. That really does not work for me. Nope, that is not working for me, my friends. Maybe I can choose golden. Okay, interesting. I don't know if it really works for me in the sense of like having these colors from a white wine, like it doesn't really speak white wine for me. While this really does I do think of like the white wine color, but I don't really know if I associate it with that. You know what I mean? Let's see. I think I might need more color palettes, you guys. I don't know. Um, they're warm tones in spring. Yeah, I'd use gradient with dark blue and dark purple as juniper like that. Yeah, that's the thing about it, right? Like, do I use the classic colors that are like that everyone is gonna think of, or do I do something that's out of the box and that's something that's not gonna? But you got to be careful because that can also not read the right way sometimes, and you got to be careful with that kind of stuff and experiment, which is what we're doing here. So this may not, while this may not be the final color palette, it's still just experimentation phase. And that's what I really love about live streams, because you can obviously think about things on the fly and show your process while you're doing it. And it's just mesmerizing for me. Okay, let's look at more color palettes. I feel like we're missing something. Um let's actually write white wine and see what comes up with. White wine. Let's see. Bliss in the chat agrees. Bliss says, "Be bold, get out of the box. Just don't be weird." Yeah. Oh, I really love this one. Look at that. I love this one. This also has a gold foil, not file, gold foil on it. I love this. That this has a white and a gold and a brown thing. Love it. Okay, let's see what we have here. Rob, hey Rob, what's up? How you doing? Long time no see. I hope you're doing well. We have add themes. I'm gonna use this guy here. I'm maybe gonna use, and then I'm maybe gonna use the golden. Oh, where did I go? No, don't do this, Illustrator. But we have this guy. This is too dark. I feel like the accessibility might be an issue here. So I'm gonna go here and change the color to a lighter shade. Um, I kind of like that, but I'm not sure if that's really what the brand is about. We can explore that later, but I think I'm going to keep that for now, just because time is money, you all, and time is really less right now. We have K Davis says clean, like made a track from client's brand colors. Interesting. I love that these colors really speak to the white wine palette, but maybe this is not speaking to it. I'm still thinking about it. But this is like just a start. Let's bring it to these colors as well and see what I feel about them. So this is essentially the phase that you would not show the client when you're working with colors, because you're just experimenting. You're just seeing what's working and what's not. And this is the phase where it's experimentation, everything's pure fun. You only think about what's working and what's not. Now, this may have made you think about what colors are going well together, what's the brand language and values, and will they work with them or no. Now, I don't think they really work together, but we're still going with it just because we're experimenting. Okay, this is also going to be white just because I feel like this should change. Maybe I should just use one color, you know? Just one color. Maybe this should be the color. Maybe this should be the color for the red wine. And then maybe I can use something else for the white wine. So what if we have this guy? This is for red, okay? And what if I just copy this artboard right here? And we have something for white. Maybe something like this. It's a classic maroon and gold combination. I mean, you can never go wrong with that, right? You can never go wrong with that. I don't know if I'm really on board with all of these colors, but maybe we will be in the future. Let's see. Val says a little under 10 minutes. Oh my god, it's little under 10 minutes left. What? That is crazy. What is time? Love that. Oh my god, I love that. I am so thankful. Thank you guys. I love the sweet comments in chat. Thank you so much for always joining me and being here. I'm not really sure if I'm feeling these colors, to be honest with you. Ooh, maybe this one. I'm not sure. Let's see. Okay, I guess I'm gonna have to check the accessibility for it. So why don't we go ahead and do that and go to accessibility tools. Now, Adobe Color has these accessibility tools. I'm just gonna go in here and grab this hex code, paste it here. This is gonna be the text color. Did I paste it? Did I paste it or no? I don't know if I did. I don't think I did. Oh, I did not. Okay, now I did. Now I did. I'm gonna select the other one over here as well. it does say it's not RGB, which is fine for now. We're testing things, and no, it does not. The contrast doesn't work. So if I increase the contrast, maybe it works. It doesn't. I have to decrease the contrast, and the text needs to be higher, and obviously this doesn't work because they're too close. The contrast ratio needs to be, if you click on this guy, it'll tell you the guidelines, and you can click on read more and read more about the contrast and how it needs to be, how different it needs to be when you're working with colors. There's also another tool in here. Now in this case, I'm not really using these colors together, so I don't really think that it should matter over here unless I'm using, like, let's say I have this color here and then I have the gold in here. Right now this is not legible, I can tell just by looking at it, but if this color was something like a lighter tone, it's much more legible, right? But the lighter tone that I just selected would probably not be legible on white, and that's not what I want. This, it's still legible, but I would like something with a darker contrast on a white, right? So you can also do something like this inside Illustrator. If you go to view, you can go to proof setup, and you can change it to color blindness. I am using color blindness, which is protanopia. I can also go ahead in color blindness deuteranopia, and these colors will actually show you if they are colorblind safe. Now I'm going to select this color here, and you can see that it is not really good contrast, and that's really essentially what we want. And then let's go back to a proof setup, and yeah, we're good. Okay, good. Let's see. We have some suggestions in chat. I'm sorry, I did not look at chat here. What about a pale green for white wine? Yeah, I think I could do that, like something like this, maybe. Maybe this could be a white, pale green. I don't know. I'm thinking I'll keep white labels, Fergie. So maybe white with like this background. Now, pale green might not look legible on white, I don't know. I do not like the gold. You're right about that. But I don't know if I really like the pale green as well. But pale green and eggshell yellow. Okay, maybe we can do that. I don't know. Maybe I can think about it later. Let's see. Dan has an amazing question in chat. Dan says, would you have a main brand color outside of the two types of wines? The single colors in white work so well for the contrast on each type. Yeah, so I feel like I will think about these two, which is why I was checking the contrast, Dan, because I wanted to use essentially these two colors as my primary colors for the brand. But since they are not a very good contrast for legibility, I will not use them together. But I do want to come up with primary colors and use those in the brand language, just to emphasize the fact that we're using the same colors all over. So maybe I can experiment it with a little bit more and come up with something that works well together. Now the gold and maroon does really work together if it's like a beigeish yellow tone. But yeah, we'll work on it more and see how it works. Okay, so I want to give you a quick recap because we have a little over 3 minutes left here. So I want to say thank you so much for joining me today. We learned about how to create a design brief for your passion project. We have something here for you all. These are the things that you need to remember when you're creating a passion project and also working with the client. If you think of it in this direction, you will be going in the right space from the start. And if you're just starting out, thinking about all of these will put you, well begun is half done, right? So if you do this from day one, you will always be a step forward in your journey. I feel like having logo sketches also really helps come up with ideas, because you're just putting the bad ideas out of your system when you're sketching stuff out, and then you can come up with something that's really original and speaks to the brand. There's a lot of experimentation involved with logo design, because you really want to think about what's important and why you're doing it and what really works for the brand. So thinking about all of those things in terms of mood boards and everything that you want to do is something that you take care of when creating a brief and also a project and also working with a client. So these goals and essentially what we covered today is going to work for all of those scenarios and all of those situations. So if you want any of these generators to create a brief for you, why don't you go to Good Brief, Fake Clients, all of these amazing links that I have listed over here. These are some links that I found from over mentorship on Discord, or even with people like Jack Watson in the chat, who is lovely mentor. She also helped me find some of these important links. So make sure to go to these links and find some briefs. We have this logo design that we did. I'm not really sold on these colors, but I am gonna say thank you to you all for joining me today. Thank you so much. I appreciate you all being here with me. This was the first episode, the premiere for What Next on Adobe Live here with me. My name is Anika and I'm signing off. I appreciate you all hanging out with me and asking all the lovely questions in chat. I want to say thank you to Val for modding and asking so many fun questions and giving me suggestions, voting. This has been lovely. I will be back next week. We will be creating mockups. Hopefully, I have colors and all of the things ready. In the end, it will be amazing. I will have the colors. Maybe I'll create a die line when we're here. And so we'll come up with a custom mockup that we were thinking about right now. We'll create the custom mockup and come up with what information we put on the label itself, and use Adobe Stock to use those wine bottles to actually mock that up for the client, and also use that in your portfolio and passion project. But that is it for me today. Thank you so much for hanging out. Stick around for more Adobe Live programming and come back tomorrow for more awesome stuff. Thank you so much, and signing off for now. My name is Anika. I'll see you next time. Bye for now.